Okay, guys, we're going to bring out our panel. Please welcome Shelley Hennig, Tyler Posey, Holland Roden, and executive producer Russell Mulcahy.
You guys get the cool orange couch? Oh,
isn't this like a fabulous set?
Yeah, we get
this is the coolest.
Yeah, this is great.
You're lucky you wore pants. Like, so guys, they just got a taste of season 5 coming up, and it was really awesome. But Russell, I want to start off with you. Senior year. That's quite the feat. I feel personally, I love senior years of like great TV shows. I feel like it really stands for growing up. It's a great milestone. Talk to me about how the writers kind of went into this season, what they were thinking, what they were looking to do with this milestone in the characters' lives.
Well, I think in every season. We try to, the writers, Jeff and the writers, try to give all the characters something to strive for and to something to overcome. And this season, it really is about a season of dread, so to speak. The dread of the villains and the dread of the unknown of senior year. Actually, being Australian, we have a slightly different educational system, so we didn't really have a senior year. But I guess
I didn't either. It's okay. I didn't go to school, so.
Okay. So there you go. So all of us are uneducated.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But.
Holland is very smart.
I think the general theme of this season is watch your pack, or be careful of your pack and take care of your pack. Has many reasons, has many variations on it. In that Tyler here being the alpha of the bunch, and it goes through many sort of trials and dark moments, and it's really a matter of keeping the pack together, but in many respects also keeping the friendships together in future life and after senior year. So yeah.
Well, I did get a chance to watch the Humble Brag. I watched the season premiere. It was awesome. Humble Brag. But Tyler, it really struck me how, like, even I guess 6 months have passed when we rejoined the crew a little bit, or like a summer or something like that. It's like a short period of time, but it really struck me just how grown up Scott seemed to be and how much growth had taken place.
Scott or Tyler?
Not in a bad way.
Scott or Tyler?
I took that as a compliment.
Yeah,
it's great. So I finished.
No, tell me about how you approached the character, or did you approach it any differly going into this season?
I did. Thank you for noticing that.
You're welcome.
Scott's been through so much. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Scott has been through so much, and so it only makes sense for him. Thank you. Adorable. Thank you. So it only made sense for him to grow, and I love that about Scott, is that every single season I'm able to find a new way for him to grow and how he's dealt with everything. So in the beginning of this season, he is kind of calmed down and relaxed and is growing into a man, and just so I'm glad you noticed that, but it creates a really good contrast for how the rest of the season is going to play out for him, because he gets to a really vulnerable state that we haven't seen him since like season 1, and he's basically losing his mind, so it's a good contrast from where he starts in the beginning of the season to the end, because it's just this is one of the coolest arcs I think I've ever had as playing Scott, storyline arcs. So yeah, coming into this season, I really wanted to play him more relaxed, and he just kind of got life. He's figuring life out, and he's okay with that, and so I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah, there was a great composure to him in the first episode. I loved
that you noticed that.
Yeah,
that's huge, because that was one of my biggest things for starting this season, was that I wanted Scott just to be composed and mature and Thank you.
We didn't plan that. It was just and for
We don't have to. We can finish now. That was
a peak character talk. Holland and Shelley, tell me about how you approached your characters differently this season, if at all, or what you wanted to do with them going into the season.
What trailer did you guys see? I stretched more this season.
I'm sorry.
Stretched more. Physically just stretched more. My body.
She kicks butt.
Every morning.
Season 5. Like, yeah, totally. Yeah, I stretched more. It's true. It's true. It's true. And I will also be here all night. I actually will be sleeping. And I'm gonna wrap it up with that. I stretched a lot this season.
Well, because you have a lot of action.
That's true, because I wasn't sure which trailer you saw. Yeah, there was a reason why I said that. Yeah, I stretched more this season. And Lydia should have already graduated, but she's hanging back with the rest of her pack and is helping fight crime in Beacon Hills.
Yeah.
Literally.
When you first saw, because not to spoil anything, but there's quite a bit of action. I mean, you all could guess that in the first episode, but especially for you, when you first saw like how much stunt work and how much physical activity you were going to be doing this season, what was your reaction? Were you like, oh crap, I have to hit the?
I resigned.
Like,
no, it's actually the opposite, because when I have a lot of my fight scenes, I'm wearing very loose clothing, and it is my favorite clothing of all time. I am barefoot. I'm a happy baby when I'm barefoot, and I got to wear really loose, fun, fuzzy, cozy clothing, and it was fun. Yeah.
And you can ask them all. I always like them to be wet.
Yes, I was gonna say, and I was usually wet in that clothing too.
Throw more water on them.
Yep.
but wet baggy clothing is not fun though, because you're like
True, wet clothing was not the best, but I was so happy to be not in heels and in loose clothing. I'll take it. If that can be a true Lydia character, because she is a girl that likes the heels and all the makeup and hair. So if I could be a girl that all of a sudden has a reason not to do that, I'm on board with that. So yes, season 5 is very comfortable
switch
for
characters.
me. Right? There we go. Do you like the heels in real life?
I just mean,
there we go.
Leah, I think she still looks fashion forward, but not
totally
overdoing it. But
Lydia totally overdoes
do
it.
Get to wear flats and all that jazz.
Well, shall I talk a little bit about Malia this season?
Well, as an actor, I had a bit of a challenge with Malia this season. And it was strange. I felt just like I was a terrible actress in the first episode. And then I realized what was happening. Malia has more dialogue this season. And, I developed a character based on what these guys gave me. And I went with it. But I guess I didn't go as far as I could have on the first season. And so this season has definitely been me diving even deeper with Malia. And it's not just one-liners, which I love. I had a really good time not having to memorize a lot last season and just coming in. When I did have something to say, it was supposed to be funny. I'm not saying it was funny, but it was supposed to be, and that's fun. But this season is sort of back to my roots as an actor, with developing a character and having a lot more to say and a lot more to do. And for that, I'm really grateful. But it was also a challenge just with Malia in general. I've never, ever played a character like her. I've never read a character like her before in television. So I feel like I have a lot. I've set the bar really high with this character because I feel like I'm so lucky to play such a strong, funny, weird, awkward, physical role. So for me, it surprisingly was a challenge as an actor, and what we'll get to see in the coming season with Malia is learning a little bit more about her ancestry.
Fantastic. How are the characters feeling, kind of going back a little bit to what you were saying, Russell, about keeping the pack together and approaching this final year? How are the characters feeling going into it? Are they insecure about the future? Are they hopeful about it? I mean, what I really love is that these aren't normal teenagers. They're teenagers that have been through so much, so the context of them going into the senior year is quite different. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I think each character has to deal with his own or her personal problems and ideals, but also take care of each other. Through the seasons, it's been very much taking care of each other. But when some of the characters start to lose it a little, as they do, then certain questions arise, yeah, and new strengths, new bondships develop. But in the whole, because there are forces beyond, which you'll see in the season, which are pretty threatening, the pack really has to stick together and watch out for each other.
Hell yeah. But
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But do they? No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Spoiler alert.
I think we all die in the first episode.
That's actually. I won't spoil anything.
Listen to that. I mean, one thing I love about the show is that we really try to keep it relatable. Even though we're werewolves.
Coyote.
Sorry.
Banshees.
And a coyote and banshee. Sorry. And
Russell, what are you?
directors too.
Aussie.
Aussie, yeah, sorry. Oh gosh, what was I saying? It's so it's relatable. So it's not they're still kids, you know, and they're going to senior year, so they're really excited and don't know what's going to happen. So with everything that they've had that's happened to them over the years, they're still kids. So heading into senior year is obviously going to be different than normal kids. But their aspirations and excitement for it and nervousness about it is all real and exactly how a normal kid would be acting, you know.
Yeah, totally, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's so cool.
Yes. In terms of, going into this season, I got really excited about some of the stuff that y'all have to do, and I'm looking at you each individually because each of you has your own little thing. But when was the last time, I guess including this episode, that you were just really excited about what you saw on this page? Because Lydia is used in a very interesting way, not to give too much away, in this season, or in the first episode, but do y'all still get excited about the scripts in that way, and about when you see, oh my God, I get to do this, and that kind of thing?
I mean, we've done so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited. Let me think if there was a moment this season where I read and I was like, I can't wait to do this, because sometimes it's like we have a big fight scene at the end of the season. Am I allowed to say that? Big fight scene? I mean, I think everyone is.
There's always going to be a big fight scene at the end of the season.
And sometimes I kind of dread those. And this one was going to be 3 days long. It's going to be a huge fight scene. And so those are, every time I read those, I'm just like, oh God, another one. But whenever I get to ride the motorcycle, I get really excited for that. Whenever I see that on the script, I'm like, yes. But then they
In the rain.
Double do it.
In the rain.
Yeah.
In the premiere.
Yes. You saw.
And it's just Russell with a sprinkler, just
Which
right
actually was
Tyler,
on Teen Wolf at one point.
2 feet away from his face.
Yeah. Wait, who was? What would you say?
Russell.
Which actually Russell did on Teen Wolf. That was his one cameo, was
Russell
with a
did have
sprinkler.
cameo for the-
I didn't know that.
In the pilot.
in the first
a
episode.
hose.
In the pilot, I'm the guy watering the garden in the background.
know that.
Scott
He bursts
wakes-
out of the pool.
I wake up in the woods, and I'm like, how the hell did I get here? And I'm scared, and I'm running away. And I hop the fence, and I land in a pool, and I come out of the pool, and Russell's just watering his lawn.
Who's that?
It was
I
really
do my
funny.
cameo.
That's hilarious.
I saw that the other day.
How did you prepare for that role, Russell? How did you prepare for that role?
Weeks.
A quad coffee.
I watered my lawn.
You watered your lawn. I didn't. I've always. It's been so long since I've seen season 1. I don't know why I saw that clip. I think it was just a picture or something. But I've been wanting to go back and watch everything. It's been so long. I miss it. It'll be really cool. But I don't know where do you find Teen Wolf? It's not on Netflix anymore.
Amazon
What?
Prime. DVDs.
DVDs.
We'll get MTV to
Amazon?
hook you up. I'm pretty sure we can get you some DVDs.
Yeah.
My dad's actually never seen the show. I need to get some DVDs. I don't know.
Did you ask me?
I think I asked you once,
You're
like, can I get some
what?
DVDs
Yeah,
of the
how do we
show?
get-
My dad's never seen it.
My mom asked me for DVDs, and I never got them to her. Because I felt bad asking for MTV to give them. I was like, I don't know. I'll check. I don't know, Mom.
That is a little awkward. I'll ask for you all.
Thank you.
And I'll get
Thank
them
you.
for you.
I've never,
Okay.
I honestly didn't want to ask.
That's so sweet.
I was
no, go
going
ahead,
to
go ahead.
answer. My favorite thing that I got to read from Malia this season was car stunts. That was really fun. I got to do it with Holland and Arden, and it was a comedic scene, and along with it was me actually driving, and I'm so thankful Russell let me be behind the wheel and trusted me enough to do a lot of this stuff. Of course, we had a professional who does it better than I do. But as an actor, to be able to actually press the gas and brake and really turn the wheel and really be on a street
And miss the tree.
and miss a tree, it's amazing because it feels more real. You don't have to use your imagination as much. And so we always appreciate those moments, especially being in a supernatural show where a lot of the things, actually, I don't know, the villains are always there. They're always like in full makeup.
We have a lot of practicals, I guess, compared to others.
Yeah, I did a
special
show about
effects
magic, and it was constantly, you're just literally making it up in your brain what you're seeing. You don't know what it's going to look like till half a year later. But anyway, it was really cool to do some car stunts, something I never thought I'd be able to say that I've done.
It's so much fun doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. We're like little kids whenever
Yeah.
that stuff comes up. I don't know why.
Well, it's like Hot Wheels
You're not
come to
bored.
life.
It
You're like,
really is.
yes.
It's another thing it's another active thing to do. And
Yeah.
think about it, you're on a set all day. I don't know if you guys have been on sets, but you can be sitting around for the majority of the time, and it gets a little idle. So being able to do action stuff, which I can imagine if they're 3-day long action scenes, that would also get a little dreadful. Theme of the season. I'm just gonna put this down.
You need to do that every time somebody says the word dreadful.
Yeah, I would say I compare it to, I've said this before, I compare it to like you're in math class and then English class and then history class and then you have PE and you get to go run outside. And to me, that's like putting on your little helmet where you get to go to PE and go to stunt class or go to, like not stunt class, but stunt work. And so that's how I think of it in my head. It's just like putting on a different helmet. But as far as the stunt scenes go, when Malia's stunt driver got in the car, it was very much a stunt for Arden and I. Oh my gosh, I've never driven that fast in a car and stopped that quickly. Thank God.
Well, now I know I can go faster.
Buddy.
Next time. Okay,
That was an experience. That was an experience. Driving in the car because you're not the actor in the actual stunt, so you're just the actor sitting there whilst in the stunt with the stunt driver. And Arden and I are like, okay, and it did not go like that. It was much more intense than okay. It was bad. It was very scary.
It really wasn't that gnarly.
No, it was. She was going 95 miles an hour, and she slams on the brakes and goes like this at the same time, and you feel
He
it.
was going 95.
I swear to God, it was 95. It was intense. That woman was intense, and you know how intense she was.
Well, I didn't
was
get to
not
ride
going
with her.
95.
Exactly, but like she was an amazing.
Not going 95.
I know she was, and it was over wet ground too. I'm not kidding. It was 95 miles an hour. But she was an amazing stunt woman. I mean, she was she specialized in stunt driving, so she was incredible. But you really are going fast. It was. I swear to God, it was 95. Ask Arden.
All right, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Holland, I feel like I need to get you therapy for like this experience that you went through.
I really enjoy my stunt work. Yeah, I would say my favorite scenes this season. Or I don't know how much I can give away on this show. I always get in trouble. There is a particular set that I've been to in past seasons, but I spend much more time on, or at, I should say, this season.
Good tease.
And so it's something I've definitely seen before, but it was fun to really nestle in and call it home.
Very cool. I want to switch and talk a little bit about the relationships this season. Tyler, Scott has a really cool moment in the first episode. But can you talk a little bit about his relationship with Malia this season, his relationship this season?
With Malia?
No.
I was gonna say,
We didn't know.
We better go film that
they're
now.
good friends. No, I mean, talk to me about his personal life this season.
Scott's personal life?
Yes, tease for me his relationship situation.
With his girl?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I meant with himself.
Yeah, tell me how he's
like,
coping with himself.
Scott and Kira, she went away for the summer. Am I allowed to say that? I'm saying it anyway. She went away for the summer, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. They're great. I love Scott and Kira because they're awkward and relatable. I get awkward around girls sometimes, and it's the same. It's like the same thing that Scott does with Kira, but he's also really sweet. And their relationship is really, really, really. Sorry, am I talking into the microphone? I love their relationship. But they do genuinely love each other, and they're really, really cute. And it's it's high school. They don't know if it's gonna last forever or what, but. They're having fun while it's lasting. Mm-hmm. Did I answer that question?
You did.
Okay, cool.
Well, I think every relationship is going to be tested, if I'm right, Russell, this season. And so Malia and Styles, I'm sure they're going to be along for the same ride. It is senior year, and senior year comes with a lot of decisions that you have to make for your future. So the relatable aspect which you love and which we all love about the show definitely comes into play a lot more because it's senior year. Does Malia make it to senior year? That's a question. And hopefully we figure that out pretty soon in the season, because I don't think that's really a great storyline to continue on for 2 seasons. You find out pretty soon. But I'm sure Malia and Styles' relationship will be tested, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, guys, we're going to open it up to fan questions because I want to give you all plenty of time to ask your questions to these guys. So if you have one, just raise your hand, and we'll call on you. Don't be shy.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us, where'd you get your shirt? Just kidding. Any? Okay,
We got one
great.
down
We
there.
have one right there.
Scream!
Do y'all have a favorite scene that y'all done throughout the 4 seasons or 5?
Favorite scene? That's impossible to answer. There's just we have filmed 70. How many episodes have we filmed? 80.
70.
We have filmed 70 episodes.
71-hour episodes, yeah.
And I just licked the microphone by accident. Does anybody have
It's
hand sanitizer?
strawberry.
Host?
Mine's strawberry.
Microphone?
It's usually on me.
Oh.
It's usually connected on me. I don't know. It's too hard to answer. There's obviously great moments.
Recent one, maybe.
A recent one. I had a remember.
This is
I
clearly
think I
his
need
favorite.
therapy too. There's a scene where last season 4, where Scott and Styles have a bag of money, and it's the hitman.
The pool.
Deadpool. What was the guy? What was it called? What was he called? What was the name of? No.
The benefactor,
No.
yeah.
I thought someone said Dread Doctor.
No, that's this year.
Yeah, it sounded like Dread Doctor. Huh?
Yeah.
And Styles and Scott are talking about the money, and then Malia comes in the room, and they have to like rush to put the money away and hide it under the bed, and we stand up and greet her, and it cracked me up. We had so much fun shooting that scene. And I was just watching the bloopers of it the other day. It's really funny.
It was a problem though.
It was.
We literally couldn't get through. You guys would laugh when it was on your coverage. I would laugh when it was on my coverage because you looked like idiots.
And then at one point,
it was so obvious you were hiding something. I'm like, this is so Scooby-Doo.
it was great. So I love Scooby-Doo
amazing.
moments. Those are and then I think at one point I popped up with boxers on my head.
Yes.
And Styles rips them off, and I was.
They gave me plenty of options to react off of, but I'm the giggler, so I'm the worst person to mess with because I will crack.
Yeah, I love it.
My favorite scenes, I think, this season could be all of the scenes where I have to say the word mask in plural. I have a really hard time saying that word.
I remember that.
Masks.
Yeah, masks.
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 I'm not going to do it again. We had some good fun trying to, and people would applaud me after I finally got the delivery right.
It's hard, especially when you're in the moment of filming and you're like trying.
And then everybody's literally staring at you,
exactly.
like waiting for you to mess it up.
Those are the worst.
That was some humorous moments for me.
Say, I don't know.
Go on.
Isn't that hard to answer?
Yeah, I actually haven't shared this one because I think about on screen, but my favorite scene to shoot off screen, I was actually technically already wrapped for the entire season, and this is a testament to them. I think it was
season 2.
It's end of season 2. And we usually try and wait it out if we can to the end of wrap. And so I think Colton and I were wrapped out, like we do this thing called picture wrap, and everyone claps when you're done with all your scenes for the season. So Colton and I were done at, I think it was like midnight.
Oh, it was way later than that.
No, because we stayed. Get ready for this. I know. Yeah. That's my favorite season. That's my favorite scene. Okay, so we wrapped at midnight, and Colton and I were like, let's have champagne. We're eating off of work. I mean, we're at work, but we're done with work. We're definitely not going to be unwrapping us anytime soon. So we, for 9 hours, continued to like watch movies in our trailer, like listen to music, have a few glasses of champagne, and we get like a knock, knock, knock at like 9 a.m. And it's been 9 hours. And you guys were on your last scene, and it was like this moment where Colton is basically dying, I think.
Yeah, he gets stabbed.
Yeah. So they're having to like have a very serious reaction.
We're like crying.
Yes,
like
but
crying
literally.
to watch this thing.
And we got a knock. Yeah, we would like to unwrap you because we'd like to come back in for coverage. And Colton was wearing the burgundy Beacon Hills tracksuit, which he thinks looks like Jane Lynch from Glee. And Russell was directing this episode, and Russell has the best commentary possible when he's trying to like get something out of you. And so he's like, just come on, come on. He's like, okay. He's like, die. And so Colton and I are like, this. And we have to like wilt into this like interpretive flower dance. And everybody, and Colton's like, Holland, we're getting punked. I know we're getting punked. He's gonna come out any moment. I'm in my burgundy tracksuit looking like Jane Lynch, and we're gonna get punked. And I was like, Colton, I don't think we're getting punked. We're unwrapping and we're wilting like flowers. Just keep wilting. And literally, that's what we were talking about. He's like, we're getting punked. And he kept whispering me, we're getting punked. And I was like, shut up, your coverage. And we're just so out of it and like loopy at that point because we pulled an all-nighter without working, which is just, it's all a mess. And so
it was so weird.
It was bizarre, but he was like, die and you're dead. And like we're on the ground. And it was like these wilting, and bless their hearts. I can actually say that in this state and people know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was great. And that they were so professional, and Colton and I were not. And it was one of my.
You were always professional.
It was one of my fun moments of the year. Going, I look like Jane Lynch and I'm going to get punked. And they're having
a wilting like a flower.
Yes. So when you see their coverage, that was what we were doing off screen. And again, bless their hearts, because it was Colton and I could not keep it together because we were just out of it.
It was so weird.
It was fun though. It was the funniest
these big
scene.
Puffy coats on too. They were like this ball on the ground.
And dying, and you're dead. And it was awesome. It was amazing.
Russell, how do you feel about that impersonation?
Well, I thought her Australian accent was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think my favorite scene was another season was when I had you guys in the tank of water, in that big white room with the nematon.
Oh.
And and we had about an hour and a half to shoot it because we had to get out of this room.
Right.
So we put the tanks of water in, and it was cold, it was winter, and we had to dunk you poor guys in the water, say, hold your breath 3 seconds, and then come out, and then walk towards the nematon in still try not to be in hypothermia, and carry on the scene. And we got like 4 angles on it, and we got thrown out.
Great scene.
Yeah.
I love it. The visuals are so cool.
Yeah, and it was one of those, and it worked, but we had an hour and a half to shoot it, and it was insane. But I enjoy putting him in cold water.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
too, man. This is the first season I got a wetsuit under my clothes though for
Yes.
rain. Yeah.
It's California, so they think you don't need
got a
wetsuits. You know, it's always
Because we
warm
started
there.
in Atlanta. The first 2 seasons were in Atlanta. We were used to the sub-zero temperatures, yeah?
Yeah, it was the coldest.
But
wasn't
it
there
does
for
get cold in California at 4 a.m.
It does a little
And when
bit.
you're soaked to the bone.
Yeah, that's weird.
So now we're bringing wetsuits, yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, we have another question. Sir in black. You can stand. That'd be great.
This question is kind of specifically for Shelley. Being a relative newcomer, how did your experience on the Secret Service with joining Teen Wolf, and then for Tyler and Holland, how did you guys like welcome her, and like Arden and other newcomers who kind of joined later into the group? What's that like?
Secret Circle was completely different from Teen Wolf, and let's just start with the fact that Secret Circle was in Vancouver, Canada. So there are a lot of different elements that you deal with there that are very different than the ones in California. Since my Secret Circle stint, I am so thankful to film in sunny California, even though we're talking about how it can get chilly at night. I still cannot complain. Vancouver was very difficult with the elements. The one thing that the 2 shows share, well, actually 2 things. The fan base, very strong, which is amazing and feels so good to know that people really care. And then the second thing is the cast and crew, so welcoming. And I feel like I don't feel like I never really felt like a newcomer, and not because I'm oblivious, but because they never made me feel that way. They made me feel like I belonged there from the beginning, every single person. And that's why I'm still there. It's such a good feeling to wake up and know that that's the set that I'm going to. I've had some not so fun experiences. We all have, and no matter what job you're doing, but it can be really brutal out there in this industry. And this is a dream come true just from the welcoming part of this show, and that I'm not just kissing ass. I don't need to, but these people have been. I'm not even gonna. There's cameras, I'm just not gonna do it. If we were on set, I probably would, Anyway, so the question was, I guess Secret Circle prepared me for fandom, and then, but they're 2 separate shows, and both are fantastic. But I'm happy where I am now.
I love you so much. We definitely my first scene with Shelley was you were naked. And you were naked, and I was off camera for your coverage, and like we were doing the scene, and all you do is like you wake up and you look at me, and I was off camera, so like at the first take I was looking at you, and then I was like, she's naked. This is our first time meeting. It's probably really weird, so I just looked down for the rest of it, and I thought that was respectful.
I didn't notice. I don't care.
But okay, cool. I know that now. How do we welcome newcomers, Holland? I don't know. I don't know. Like Shelley said, it's just so comfortable on set, and I love it, and we just have fun. It's honestly just it's work, obviously, but we have a really special thing on our set. I'm not sure.
You guys set that tone. So when they're newcomers, they don't necessarily feel like newcomers unless it's their first time acting. Then there's just the whole aspect of just they've never done it before. But you guys cast some really amazing people that like just fit in. Mm-hmm. But then you also make them feel like they fit in. It just happens organically.
Yeah,
From the girl aspect, it's nice that when girls come on set, you get to like talk about things that the guys are like, Holland, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. And so it's nice, you get to share like the same tips
I
and
do
the
say
same.
that a lot. Holland, what are you talking about?
Yes, a lot. And
That's what I'm there for.
And so I like it when I'm like, yeah, like similar, like actresses will always need touch-ups, and guys don't necessarily need them. So we look like high maintenance people. But I'm like, no, it's just being the girl part. Like, that's just what it consists of. And so when I'm in other scenes with other girls, we're all getting touch-ups. And so like we don't have to all look like the high maintenance people. We're just all girls in this industry working on a set, and that's very lovely to have. I love the boys, but it's very nice to have like my common. I went to an all-girls school for 11 years, so it's nice to have women around.
Female energy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Tyler on the same page.
loves the women.
That's right.
But it sounds like welcoming people is easier than saying goodbye to people on this set because you all get so close.
That was so cute.
It's a very good point, actually.
We don't say goodbye. We all keep in touch. Yeah. I love everybody on this show.
So much love.
Yeah.
Question, friend?
A question, Tyler. So do you actually wear any contacts, or is that just all special effects?
For the first 3 seasons, it was real. They were contact, and I don't wear contacts, and it was horrible. I hated it. I dreaded the makeup. Do you remember how much I hated being in
Yeah, and they didn't show up very well.
They didn't even work that well.
We had to actually enhance them later on, and then we thought, well, why put him through the agony?
Yeah, because they
and we'll just CG them the whole way through.
So I really didn't like the makeup process because of that, and they wouldn't let me. The lenses are very expensive, so they wouldn't, because they're hand painted or something, and they wouldn't let me put it in myself. So I had to.
There was a specialist there.
And they would have some guy come in and be like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like shaking. And he like stand. It was literally.
The berserker comes in.
Berserker comes in with a bone claw and stabs him. But it was the worst. I would like prepare myself like 20 minutes beforehand because I hated it so much. And he would literally open my eye and stick his finger in my eye. It was weird. It was the worst.
No, but you're not even doing it justice. These are not normal contacts. When you see those big hard and some of you that dress up do know the contacts. They're really hard, and they don't just cover the colored part of your eye. Like
they're pretty big.
They cover the whole eye, right? And so
some
it's
of them, yeah.
really hard to get. They're not normal. Like whoop.
It sucked. It was weird. So I'm very thankful. But at the same time, it did complete the makeup for me. When I had those contacts in, I felt weird. Like I felt like a werewolf, and it was really easy for me to get into character because those contacts are unsettling. Like when you, it was weird when I had them in, and I'm just looking at people. It's bizarre. It like makes them uncomfortable, and I loved it. I would do it all the time. I would just like stare at people, so I'm very thankful that they're gone.
Were these ones that you could see through? Because I've heard that they're the kind also where you can't see anything when they're in. So like when they're having to do something, they have to like know this direction.
Yeah,
like
there are some. Mine were just werewolf eyes, so just the color was different. But we have had contacts that it's like cataracts.
Yeah.
And they can't see anything.
Right.
So it's weird. But no, mine I could see it. I could see yellow. It was weird. I saw like a ring of yellow everywhere I looked. Yeah. So I'm happy that we have no more contacts. Thank you, Russell, for appreciate it.
Right here in front.
My question's for Tyler. How is it different being producer this time, and how do you like it?
I love it. First of all, it is. Oh God, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm so thankful for it. I feel like it's really setting a tone for my career. You know, because I love acting, but I want to do other things, and it's just opening up so much doors. It is different than previous seasons because before I was just an actor on the show, and even though I felt like I had ideas, I just didn't feel like I had the liberty to express them, and now I do, and it is so much fun being behind the scenes, and I care so much more about the show. I didn't know it was possible because I love this show, and now I love it so much. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. So if I sneeze, I sneeze.
We'll just jump in.
Yeah, thank you. But it is definitely a different dynamic. I want to sacrifice more to the show. Like there was one shot. Do you remember this? There was one shot you didn't get, and it was a huge sequence. It was I ride up on my. Am I allowed to say this? I ride up on my motorcycle, and it's raining, and Kira and I have a cute moment, and there's this. There's like all these cars that we had like how many cars? Like hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
For this scene, there's like a traffic jam, and it's raining, and there's this crane shot, and it was a huge, it was like a big budget movie thing, and there was one you wanted to get the reverse.
Right.
So the
right.
crane goes this way. He wanted to get the shot this way too, and we didn't get it. And I texted you the next day. I'm like, hey man, if you need me, I'm around on the weekend. Like if you want to get a crew together and
100 cars.
Yeah. But I get there's a lot. There's so much that goes into making this show that I knew, but now that I'm on the other side, it's really interesting. So I want to sacrifice more to the show. I understand that sometimes you need to make sacrifices because like sometimes you as an actor, when you're not in the loop, you just feel like you're like, why the hell? Why I don't want to do this shot. I don't want to have to do this again. But now I understand that we need to.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
And the reason we didn't get that reverse angle, even though the sequence is spectacular the way it is the bloody sun came up.
Yeah, it was very early.
You cannot stop the sun.
Yeah.
We learned that.
Russell tries.
There are some shots in Teen Wolf.
Oh, there are many shots. As the sun comes up, you'll notice that the camera eventually starts looking down the ground more, and the blacks come over, and the shots get tighter and tighter and tighter. Yeah.
It's just our eyes.
Yeah.
But we
end up with close-ups on the ground.
We end up shooting into the morning every time.
Oh yeah.
Every day, pretty much.
That's true.
We have long days. We got I think what was the last?
Hold on, I just did a 24-hour day, but it's my fault because of Wolf Watch. So it's basically two different shows. Teen Wolf and Wolf Watch, they don't have to give me a 12-hour turnaround because they're two different shows. So I agreed to do 2 Wolf Watches on the same day, and I was told that I was going to be going to Teen Wolf that night. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm one of those people, I like to get it all done. And then I was like, and then I'll be done on Friday, and then I can, go somewhere, whatever. So I decided to do Wolf Watch, 10 a.m. It was supposed to be done around 6. It always add a couple hours. We know that. It finished around 8. Then I had to be at set at 10. By the time I got home, ate dinner, had to go back. I was already at set. Then I worked from 10 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Damn.
Yep.
It was a straight up 23-hour day.
We had
But it was purely my fault. But it was the last day of filming for that season, and you always add like 6 hours to when you think you're gonna wrap for the last day. But it was fun. We were doing stunts, and it's gonna look amazing. But you sometimes you have those days, and I'm sure as a producer, you guys have those quite often. Your mind is always going.
Yeah, if you guys watch Wolf Watch, those are usually filmed in the last couple of days that we're shooting the show. So we're so loopy because we are doing back-to-back shoots and then coming back in the next day for Wolf Watch stuff, and it's
2 hours
brutal.
of sleep playing Wolf Watch. Yeah, this was backwards for me this year. Wolf Watch and then on set.
That's why they're so fun, though.
And I felt so bad because I showed up at set. I was already picture wrapped at this point, and I showed up on the last day because I wanted to hang out. And Dylan and I were there, and we were being really loud outside of Shelley's trailer.
Which normally I would have been out there with them, but I was like, you know what? I should probably nap because I had an hour off. I did rehearsals for the stunt, and then they weren't ready for me. So I went to go take a nap, and then I hear the crew
screaming.
And they chose the area right outside my trailer, and I was like, oh, should I go party with them? And I was like, no, I gotta sleep. I have to do stunts tonight. So I'm trying to sleep, and I'm like, okay, this is not gonna work. So I texted the AD, Kara, and I was like, hey, are they gonna need me soon, or do I have time to nap? Trying to get her to move people. So now she knows, oh, Shelley's trying to sleep, which is a rare occurrence at Teen Wolf, at least for this season. And so she was like, no, they're not gonna need you. And I was like, okay, she's not helping me out. All right. So after about 45 minutes of me just trying to tune them out, I actually heard Tyler at one point go, is Shelley sleeping? And then I think everybody was like, no, her light's off. And I was like, exactly. And I'm just hearing all this. And finally, I got out, and I just opened the door, and I made my eyes even more like this, just to exaggerate it. And all they had to do, they're so amazing. Tyler and Dylan just looked at me, and they went, we're so sorry, and just ran away, and I felt terrible
I felt so bad.
But so did I, though. I mean, it's we should be able to do what you want, but it was one of those rare exceptions where I was
we
like,
were just there.
oh my God.
Like, we weren't working, you know?
They were intense days for us, yeah, because I did 2 Wolf watches, did Teen Wolf, and then went back to Wolf Watch the next day and didn't even know I had to. And it was, they get intense.
Yeah,
but worth it.
So worth it.
I was gonna say, but
we have so
totally
much fun.
It's funny. It's fun.
Fantastic. Next, right here in front.
I represent the older gay fans that probably started watching for the wrong reason.
It's all the right reasons, man.
There's never a wrong reason.
For all those reasons, but I actually love the rest as well. I'm very curious if Styles and Derek are familiar with all of the fan art that's been created about the two of them, and how do they respond to that? I mean, how it's sort of funny because you see a lot of fan art where we would love for that storyline, but I know it's never going to happen.
Have they seen it?
Yeah, have they seen it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've all seen it. We've all seen it. I don't want to speak for them though.
Sure. I just thought that was very interesting, and I didn't know if that was if they were cool at least with it.
It's amusing, yes.
It's absolutely amusing.
Okay, next.
Oh, but yeah, and that's not the first time I've seen that happen on shows. Shipping the same.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fans make of it what they will, but they also enjoy the show as it is. I don't know.
Free world.
I remember the first time we saw a picture where it was a very intimate scene.
Describe it, please.
And it was in water, and it was a baptism of sorts with 3 of them. And I'll never forget, there was one head swapping picture, and this is happening to be the first thing I've ever seen. It was you, Dylan, and I think Colton. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And the head swap was so accurate with like what his shirt looks like, what Dylan's like, and what Colton. I was like, is that real? Like it was so accurate. And that was the first one I had ever seen. And I didn't know, was not aware of that this existed in the world. And so I was cracking up. I thought it was hilarious. But I was not in the scene, so I don't know.
Isn't there a whole genre of people who take comic book characters and mix those love interests up, and then there's another? Is there a name for that?
Shipping crossovers, like they do like fan
I read
fiction.
a script about it. Maybe they made it up in the script. There's a word for it, but it's fan fiction. But actually, I think there's the sexual element where they slash.
Oh, slash.
Did not know this.
Oh.
Yes, I just learned about that. That's random. Sorry.
Did not know
look into that. It's hysterical.
Slash.com.
Yeah. Hashtag
Are
slash.
really good though. I love your point about that. Like some of them are. These people are so talented. Yeah. And I've actually heard of shows like taking people from Tumblr and be like, can you create some stuff for us? And like it happens because they're so talented. Cool. Next, I called on somebody back right there.
So for the actors, if any of y'all could play any character that's ever been on the show other than yourself, who would you be?
I really like Derek. I think Derek is awesome. I think he would be a lot of fun to play. He's so troubled, and there's so much depth to him. So I was always jealous of Hecklin. Derek. I like Derek.
Coach. Like, yo, with the whistle. He's like, yo. Yeah, like I want to point and I want to do all that stuff.
I need a video of your impressions of everybody. That is fantastic.
He's like, Greenberg. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, he's great.
It's between a berserker and Kate.
Kate's fun.
Sexy.
Or combine them together, and that
There you go.
So sexy.
All right, we had another one over here. There you go.
If you could change one thing in the storyline, anything, what would it be?
I love that question. What?
Add or change?
Change. I think that Scott should not be. I love that he's a protector and a savior and doesn't want anyone to die. But I think that he gets himself in more trouble sometimes trying to protect somebody than if he would just let them die. That sounds horrible. But
I love the honesty.
but no, I think that he can let his guard down sometimes, and I know it sounds bad. I'm not talking about the good people. You know, I want Scott to save the good people. It's just some bad people that like I think he can maybe
Just let him die.
but just kind of turn his back and let some werewolf slash him or something. So I think Scott can. I think it would be cool to. It sounds awful. I think it'd be cool to have Scott kill somebody. I think it'd just be a cool dynamic for Scott because he's so passionate about. It would be crazy. It would mess him up inside. I think it'd be fun to play. Thanks, Emily.
It can be Hannibal.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what would I change? Well, I would make Beacon Hills Cabo. That's what I would do.
That's a good one.
Yeah. We're all in sand and we're in palm trees, but not really because it's Northern California. It's supposed to be Northern California. We would be in Mexico. Seriously. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
I just pitched
the college years.
Right.
Go to college and college.
I just pitched to Russell earlier. I think Malia should be a prison guard. After high school. You know, I think she could use her physicality for something. But I want her to be like like a really tough. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was curious where you were taking that. But is there anything
sort of
you'd
like
change?
like mean and I don't know. I just think it'd be funny. Her hair just gets shorter and shorter. She starts to look more and more masculine. I just think it'd be fun.
But there's nothing that you'd change in
No.
terms of this, right?
No.
Thank you. We have time for probably one more question, I think. Anybody? All right. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Who for the actors has been your favorite villain to deal with throughout the course of the series?
I loved Void Styles. I thought that was so much fun. It was really cool because there's one moment when he's stabbing me, and it's my homie, and we've never played like we hate each other, and in that moment we did, and it was really fun to play. I liked Void Styles a lot.
I like the aspect of Void Styles in the Nugitsune. I think it's pretty incredible if you don't really say, well, he does. The Nugitsune does end up talking, but for so much of the season, you don't see his face, you don't see his mouth, you don't hardly see his eyes. You really don't see his eyes. And how do you convey an emotion with none of those aspects? And I thought Aaron did such a great job, and the way Dylan and Aaron is the guy who played the Nugitsune, played off of each other. And I remember Aaron needed to go out of town for another job, and it was overseas. And they're like, we really need you, though. He's like, but you can't see my face. And he goes, yes, but you are the best we can't see your face actor we could ever find. Like, he was incredible. And I happened to be there, and I was like, they're right, though. They're really right. Like, they were incredible together. I would say that used to be my favorite. It's going to be maybe a tie, because I love them playing chess. I love the White Room. I love it all with that storyline. But that and the Dread Doctors. Did I just ruin something?
No.
Okay.
No, the season is Dread.
Yeah. That and the current villain this season. Oh God, I get so scared up here. Yes, I would say they're so human-like, and to me that's creepier than the creatures, and for me personally. So the Nugitsune came close to the human-like thing, and now the Doctors are even more human-like, and so I would have to say this season's my favorite villain.
I have a thing for the Berserkers. They scared the shit out of me. In real life, these actors were massive. Not only tall, but just big, muscly, thick. That's a good word. Thick dudes. And I remember John is his name, one of the Berserkers. I was looking at him on set one day. And by the way, they're chasing us throughout the high school, and I'm with you. I'm legit running for my life because he's so big, and I just got caught up, and I really didn't have to use my imagination. Apparently I don't like to use my imagination a lot, but I didn't have to working with him. But at one point I looked up at him. I was like, "Hey, dude, how much do you weigh?" And he looks at me and he goes, "How much do you weigh?" And I was like, I got it. All right, cool. Never mind. I get it. It's rude. It's a rude question. No matter what gender you're asking, like, it's rude. I got it. It was funny.
Russell, do you have
So we
a
had a good
favorite?
I actually quite liked the Kanema. I've liked all our villains. I think the Dread Doctors, are very good this season. Quite extraordinary because they're probably the most sort of evilly humanistic of our characters. But I did like the Kanema. I liked the fact that we could do this guy in a costume with a CG tail, and it could wrap around legs and hang off ceilings, I was a big fan of Harryhausen in the old days, so it brought back many good memories to me as a filmmaker. But I think this season's Dread Doctors are going to scare and thrill and send shivers down your spine. I think they're very, very odd.
That's a great tease. And just a reminder, guys, you know that Teen Wolf is back Monday, June 29th at 10. And then there's another new episode Tuesday, June 30th at 9 p.m. So we have all that to look forward to. But right now, we're also going to invite you all to a Hair of the Wolf brunch. It's the closing event of ATX, and that's going to be right across the ballroom.
Brunch?
It's a brunch sponsored by
No one
Teen
told
Wolf.
us.
Happened at like
Teen
9.
Wolf is Thanks. Give our panelists a big hand.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.